Hi, my name's Louise and I'm from Mrs. J's Kitchen. Welcome to Melton's Lifelong Learning Festival. Today I'll be demonstrating for you a healthy muesli bar slice that can be taken on the go, packed into kids' school lunches, and best of all, it's quite affordable. Okay, let's get started. So the first step we're going to do is we're going to rehydrate our dates. So we're just going to pour about 1.5 cups of boiling hot water over the dates, and we're going to set them aside till the end of the recipe. The first step we're going to do is we're going to grab our bananas and we're going to mash them up. Once they're completely mashed, we're going to combine them into the mixing bowl. And from this point on, it's one bowl. So mashed bananas into the bowl. We've got 2 apples, and we're going to grate those apples up and add them in with the banana. And this part here, you really want them to be quite combined. You want to make sure they're mixed well before you add in any other ingredients. The next step is we will add in our 1 egg and our cup of milk. And these 2 ingredients can be added in together quite quickly. And we're going to just give them a really good mix. Then we're going to add in our dry ingredients. So the next ingredient we'll add in is our wholemeal self-raising flour, our oats, and our spices. And this is a great recipe where you have the opportunity to change things up. If your children quite like a bit of ginger, or they like a lot of cinnamon or mixed spice, this is where you can really add flavor to the dish. And if you go on the website, at the end of the website, it actually says that I do add 1/2 cup of chocolate chips, but you need to keep in mind that if you are taking it to school or packing it in the lunchbox, just that they might not every school has nuts, so you might need to leave them out. So now that we've combined all of our wet and dry ingredients, you want to give it a really good mix together. Make sure everything's well covered. And then we're going to pour it over into our tray. Now that you've poured it into your tray, you want to really flatten it out so it gets that even surface. So once it's cooked, it's all risen at the same level and it cuts up quite nicely. So we will be baking this at 160 degrees for 15 to 18 minutes. I do recommend that you do check on it at 15 minutes, just in case every oven has its own temperatures. So now we'll go and pop this over into the oven. So now we've just taken it out of the oven, and you want to remove it from the pan itself, put it on a cooling rack. Once the slice is completely cooled, it's ready for cutting, and you can cut this slice to any size you like. You can also get a cookie cutter and cut into the slice to create cute little shapes for lunchbox snacks. So this is the lovely healthy slice for you and your family to enjoy. Great to put in the kids' lunchboxes. Also, microwave for 30 seconds, add some yogurt and blueberries. I'm sure you'll love it just as much as your children do. So for our next recipe, we're making a healthy cookie dough that can go into lunchbox containers that can be traveled around with, and it has all these extra fibers. We're going to make it out of chickpeas, and it will taste absolutely amazing, and your kids won't even know. So the first step is we're going to grab a can of chickpeas. We're going to strain the chickpeas, and we're going to set the aquafaba, so the water that's in the can, we're going to set it aside for now. We're going to add the full 400 grams of chickpeas into the food processor. With the chickpeas, we're going to add in any sort of natural sweetener that you like. So you can use rice malt, you can use maple syrup, or you could use agave. Add your choice of sweetener, 1 tablespoon, into the food processor as well. And we're going to give that a really good mix around. Make sure that the chickpeas have completely become like a puree. Once the chickpeas are completely pureed, add in your 1 cup of tahini, stir that through. You can take it out, pop it into a bowl, and then you'll add in your chocolate pieces. There you go, guys. This is the healthy choc chip cookie dough. I hope you love it as much as I do. It does last in your fridge up to 3 or 4 days, but I'm pretty sure it will not last that long. Okay, so for this recipe here, we'll be making apricot wheat bix ginger bliss balls. It sounds like a mouthful, but I promise you they are delicious. So for this recipe, we're going to add in all our ingredients into the food processor, and we're going to blitz it all together. Okay, let's get started with our first ingredient. We're going to start with our apricots. To that, we're going to add in our desiccated coconut and your wheat bix, also your ginger. Now your ginger is very optional. You don't have to add in the ginger if you don't like it. If your kids don't eat it, don't put it in. Also, this is a really good recipe for your wheat bix to utilize what's at the bottom of the box. That way there's no wastage in the kitchen. You're gonna want at this point to add in 1 tablespoon of melted coconut oil. Okay, so now that we've got all the ingredients into our food processor, we're going to give it a really good blitz, and you want the consistency of a really fine sort of breadcrumb. And when you squeeze it in your hand, you want to make sure that it obviously doesn't come apart. If by chance it is coming apart on you, just add a tiny little bit more coconut oil. So now that we've blitzed that all together and we've resembled a breadcrumb consistency, we're going to start to shape our balls. We will start with lining a tray with some desiccated coconut. So once they're shaped, we're just going to roll them in there so there's no sticky hands and things like that. So now that we've rolled all of our balls and coated them with the coconut evenly, we're going to pop them into the fridge for about 3 or 4 hours, and then from that point they are ready for eating. You just want them to be a little bit cooler and set together. So these are my Bliss balls. I hope you enjoy them as much as I do.